Holy moly, guys. I don't know if you've seen this. I had a couple of you guys, PM Righteousness from Florida, had commented a couple times about a shooting that was happening. I think CSI just sent in a video from TV. I have that. I have a lot more videos. It looks like this AMC National Cinema Day brought out the worst. I don't know, blame it on them. But the fact that all these kids and people came out, the shootings, the attacks everywhere. I mean, it's all over the place. Chicago. Sounds like it was up there, Emeryville outside of San Francisco. We got them down in Columbus, Ohio. We got it down in Atlanta, down in Florida. It just kind of shows you how crappy our world's becoming. But why is it did they choose all these theaters? I mean, that's just so weird. And I mean, how's parents going to think about sending their kids to theaters if this is the kind of message they're seeing, that these kids are showing up in mass and these kind of things are happening? Maybe it's not related. I don't know. It sounds like social media. Maybe there's some stuff that was going on out there. They have all been spreading this message. Who knows? I mean, we've seen this elsewhere. We've seen them attack Rite Aids and Walgreens, Walmarts, Targets. But this just shows you how much evil's in this world that this is happening, folks. Check out these videos. This is insane.
It's the latest in a string of incidents that happened all across the nation during the promotional event. And deputies say it sounded like a gunshot also rang out in the parking lot and caused people to panic. Well, they have since said that it was a car running over a water bottle that made that noise. We're also told there were no injuries and management chose to close down the theater early as a precaution.
Chaos at the Bay Street Mall spreading into Emeryville. Multiple fights broke out late this evening involving hundreds of people. So many that police from neighboring cities were called in to help. Good evening, I'm J.R. Stone. The first incident began at 4:30, and 4 hours later, the area was finally cleared. It began at the Bay Street Mall in Emeryville. One person was stabbed and taken to the hospital. And at one point, at least one shot was fired, but no one was hit. ABC 7 News reporter Lena Howland has a look at what happened.
This was the scene just outside of the Bay Street Mall after police say around 300 juveniles broke into groups and got involved into multiple fights like this one near the AMC Theater around 5 o'clock in the evening. Catherine Borrad from Fresno says she ran right into the group as they were trying to leave the area.
There were just these throngs of kids. I want to say 300, 400 kids. And things were fine. It was just a little strange. And then all of a sudden they all started running towards us. We thought maybe there was gunfire or knife or something happened.
And in what felt like a stampede of teenagers running her way, she says both her and her son got knocked over.
Somebody pushed past me and I hit the ground. He has a couple of skin knees.
Emeryville police say among the fights, one single gunshot was fired but didn't hit anyone. About an hour later, they say one juvenile was stabbed near Elm Street and taken to the Highland Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A spokesman for the police department tells us out of the hundreds of teens involved, just one juvenile was arrested.
My thing is that what was 400 kids doing? They said it was over 400 kids. I'm like, what were they doing here unsupervised without their parents? And it's scary because that's what she sometimes wants to go to the movies. And I'm like, I don't think you're not at that age to go by yourself.
Brenda Valaderas says the Bay Street Mall incident spilled over into a nearby Target when she witnessed teenagers pulling items off of shelves, making a mess of the store, and shoplifting in front of her family.
People were getting mad and it was like getting like everybody was like stealing everything. Like everything was on the floor.
Although police would not confirm the connection to the Target incident, they did say there was a link up posted to social media, which originally called the mass amount of teens to the Bay Street Mall.
Just a very scary evening in Emeryville.
This on National Cinema Day, where tickets at AMC Theaters were being sold for just $4. Shortly after the incident, AMC put a message on their website confirming this location has been temporarily closed. In Emeryville, Lena Howland, ABC 7 News.
47th Street here in Cicero during what was being billed as $4 movie night, which police here say traditionally attracts a large number of teenagers. Now, cell phone video provided to us from one would-be moviegoer shows dozens of teenagers being dispersed by authorities from the AMC's parking lot. That witness telling us that at one point there were hundreds of teenagers gathered, many of them jumping on vehicles and attempting to to break into other businesses that are located within the strip mall. That, however, has not been confirmed by Cicero police, who tell us that they estimated the crowd to be at around 250 when they first responded to the movie theater. The first 911 calls coming in shortly after theater employees began to turn away people from the theater once they reached capacity, upsetting those who were trying to get in. Now, police not just from Cicero, but multiple jurisdictions responded, and it was shortly after that they say a teenage boy was shot in the leg near an Aldi's located across the street.
That part of it is under investigation as to exactly how that occurred. What it was all about at the same time in the same circumstances is the crowd became a little unruly, and then as we were dispersing them from the area, that's apparently when that incident happened.
Now, that boy was taken to Loyola Hospital for treatment. We're told that he is in stable condition. Police telling us that they did make one arrest in connection with the shooting and have recovered a weapon, but they admit that there's still many details that they're trying to put together, not just from the shooting, but also from the initial incident and the disturbances at the movie theater. So still a lot of information to put together from these two incidents in Cicero this evening.
The reopening comes less than 24 hours after a deadly shooting. Thank you for joining us for NBC4 Midday. I'm Matt Barnes. Columbus police tell us the victim and both suspects in custody are young. Jordan Dunlap is live at Easton with the latest information. Jordan.
Matt, we know the two 13-year-old boys are now in custody in connection with this shooting. One of them has been charged with obstruction of justice and the other has been charged with murder. We know that the victim is a juvenile male. The one that's being charged with murder is expected to be in court this afternoon. Now, NBC4 is not naming the 13-year-old suspects because they have not been charged as adults. Officers received a call around 6:15 p.m. for reports of a shooting near the movie theater in Jenny's Ice Cream. When they arrived, they found a victim suffering from a single gunshot wound. Now, after being transported to Mount Carmel East Hospital, he did die due to his injuries. Right now, police are not releasing the victim's name until the family has been notified. A witness who works near Jenny spoke with NBC4 and says just before hearing that single gunshot go off, he saw a group of teens gather together.
I was standing directly across the street because it was right there on the other side of that telephone pole that everyone takes pictures by.
Yeah.
And I just saw the flare because it was so many people. I just saw the flare. Like the moment that people started to get real loud, just a moment, you couldn't even tell who was arguing. Boom, just heard the shot.
One shot.
Yeah, just one shot. Everybody started scattering. And then after everyone scattered, I looked back out and they were trying to resuscitate the guy on the side.
Again, Easton is currently back open for business today. Local for you in Columbus, I'm Jordan Dunlap, NBC4.
Jordan.
As you can see, the leftover debris and damage from the chaos, a broken ticket machine, a broken light pole, trash, and personal items left behind as people ran for safety. Now, tonight, as you mentioned there, this was one of hundreds of locations observing the company's National Movie Night Out, offering $4 tickets to moviegoers. Morrow police tell us there were units here initially as a part of that. And then around 8:15, a deputy at the front doors reported shots fired inside the building. Now, from there, officers from every agency in Clayton County responded here tonight and helped clear the building within about 40 minutes.
We found no shell casings or anything to indicate any shots fired, which doesn't rule out the possibility of someone maybe shooting a revolver, or maybe it could have been fireworks or something like that. Shots fired in a building containing hundreds of people at a business like a movie theater, sure, we're going to respond swift and sure.
Our police tell us while this was a false alarm, they were proud of the collaborative response tonight. We asked if there was any indication that this might have been a social media prank of some sort. They say that the investigation into what happened here is ongoing, and they will be checking social media to try and get answers to that question. Now, the theater is closed for the night, so unfortunately for those who had later movie showings, they were unfortunately turned around and told that they may or may not receive a refund. AMC is supposed to be releasing a statement or at least giving people a little bit more information about what they're going to do if they were not able to make it to their movie and take advantage of the discount there. But that's the latest here tonight live in Clayton County. Joy Dukes, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, Joy, it's supposed to be a night and a day of fun, and really unfortunate for those who just wanted to have a good time. Thanks so much.
Now, of course, if you go to Adam Marin's Twitter, you'll see the Great Silverback hasn't put out anything on these shootings whatsoever, no tweets. In fact, the only tweets he's been putting out has been that one about the fire in Hawaii, but then he's been focused before that on his letters and to us about why he needed dilution, blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't said anything about what's happening in the stock, let alone about all these shootings across the country. He's still silent, staying silent.